Okay, so you're doing this, and you are, you can make the x's match by making them both 12. You can make the y's match by making it 15. I had someone make the x's match by going to 24. That's fine. You do you. You get the same answer either way. Take your time. I'm going to start doing it while you're doing it. I'm like, keep working. I'm just going to start the problem. I'm going to multiply this guy by 3 and this guy by -2. I'm making the x's match. That's how I did it. Nice and careful. Nothing scary. Just a little bit of old algebra 1 and 2. Nothing that's going to make you cry. Y equals -1. We feeling pretty good about that? Yeah? And I'm going to take that -1 and I'm going to plug it in right here. So I'm going to come up to the top. You can plug it in wherever you want, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to go right there. So I'm going to say -4x minus 3 equals -11. Minus 4x equals 8. X equals 2. There we go. X equals 2. Y equals -1. I'm going to tell you why I did that. Because I'm going to send you to see the gypsy to have her give you the love of your life. But we don't want to start with that, because let's try a pet first. Let's see if she can conjure us up a kitten and make sure she can do that, because the last thing we want to be done is stuck with some creepy guy from another planet with tentacles. That would be awkward for us. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go to the gypsy and we're going to ask her for a pet, but she is going to use a slightly different setup, right? What we're doing right now, I need someone to remember 2 and -1, 2 and -1. Let me get rid of all this. So x is 2, y is -1. We're going to set this problem up a new way, because we're going to go to technology. But the way that technology does it is it uses a thing called a matrix, right? We're going to use a matrix. It is just another way to set up a problem. But I'm going to walk you through how to do it, and I'm going to walk you through why it works, and then we're going to try it and see if, using the gypsy's matrix, if it gets us this answer. We know that answer's right. We did it ourselves. Are you guys ready? So the first thing that we need to know is the important parts of any equation are not the letters. It's these guys. It's these coefficients. These are the important parts. All that ever changes in every equation we do is just the numbers. That's all that changes. The x's and y's stay the same. So the first thing I need you to do is to set up this first thing, and it's called a matrix, and it's just a way to write the important parts of our equation down. So I'm going to ask you to erase your whiteboard. I'm going to ask you to write this little thing over kind of on the side, because in a few minutes you're going to bring out your Chromebooks, and I want you to have space for your Chromebook and space for the math. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. When we do this, we're going to start with this stuff. What matters is the -4. This guy goes here, and this guy goes right next to him. And this guy comes down here, and this guy goes right next to him. That's awesome, right? Now, we also have that -11 and -17, and it's going to get its own little baby matrix. And we're going to put it over here. And we're going to have -11 and -17. And we had an equal sign. So that's a little slice of awesome. All we're doing is rewriting this thing. You know, we also have variables. We said 4 times x and 6 times x, 3 times y, and 5 times y. So somehow or another, I need to get X and Y into my setup. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to times it by the variable matrix. And that actually has a word. And that word is, we don't call that a variable matrix. We call that a vector matrix. And so for my friends who take physics, you're going to do some of this, especially if any of you are in honors physics, you will use a vector matrix, right? And that's just your variables. Now, we're going to give these guys some names. We're going to call this guy A, and we're going to call this guy B. And here's the math. Here's what the gypsy's going to do, because she's magical. A times the vector matrix will give you B, right? But what I really want her to do is I really want this X and Y all by itself. I want her to tell me what the hell is X and what the hell is Y. It's like, Gypsy, I don't want this. I want just this. And she's like, I can do that. I can do that. But I got to move that A to the other side. I got to move that A to the other side. And here's what's important. Normally, we, as math people, we would just say, oh, divide by A and divide by A. But you know what? The gypsy's a little specific. And she says, you know, it's not really divide by, it's do, you guys ready? It's do the opposite of. And in math, that is called the inverse. So what the gypsy is going to say is, okay, I'll move that A by timesing by the inverse of A. And what I do to one side, I am going to do to the other side. I'm going to do it over here. And here's what happens. This stuff goes away, and we are going to be left with just this stuff, and the gypsy's going to do the magical math and give us the answers, right? That's what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to ask you to do this for the whole rest of the time that we're doing this. I need you, even on the test, because you're going to do everything else on your calculator or on your Chromebook. But I'm going to ask you to write this part down, and let me tell you why. Because if you are not careful, if you make one tiny mistake, the gypsy does the math anyways. So if you leave out this right here when you're punching it in the calculator or your computer, and you get an answer, and you're like, I did it, it's this answer. I'm like, no, it's not. And you're like, but I did it on my calculator. I can't give you any partial credit, right? I can't be like, oh, you just made a little math mistake. But at least if you have this written out, I can be like, oh, they almost had everything. They forgot that negative. Are you cool with that? Okay, so now let's go to the gypsy's cabin. Let me tell you where she lives. She lives in two places. Either she lives on your graphing calculator, if you have a graphing calculator, or she lives here at Desmos.matrix. So if you've got your Chromebook, grab your Chromebook out. If you don't have a Chromebook and you want to go run to the library and get one, you need one today if you don't have a graphing calculator. You gotta go run and go get it. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this, right? So here's what we need to do. We are now in her cave or her house or whatever she lives in, and we're going to ask her to do some math for us. But first, we got to tell her what we want her to do. So we are going to need to put this stuff into our calculator. Are you ready? Into our computer thing. So the first thing we're going to say is, Gypsy, hello, little Gypsy, I would like you to make me a matrix, right? And the first one we're putting in is A. Remember this guy? This was A. So I would like you to put that guy, that -4, 3, -6, 5, in right here. Nice and carefully, nice and easy. -4, and then over here is 3, and over here is -6, and here is 5. I am watching Caroline, I believe, switch out. I got to be honest with you. I like the Desmos. Yeah, and I like the Desmos better. It's just easier for me to see, but your graphing calculator is fine. But I like the Desmos better. I also think it's an equity issue. You know that. Okay, that's that guy. I'm good, but I need B now. I need B. So guess what? New matrix. Here's the problem. She's given me too many spots. I need one up and one down. And I am not going to lie to you. I don't know why I can never remember what is a row and what is a column. I don't also know my left from my right. I have to think about it. I don't know why. I'm 60 years old. So we need to get rid of a row or a column. I never can remember which it is. It's a column. Thank you. Okay. Shut up for making that easy. Now we're going to put in -11 and -17. -11 and new matrix. That's right. -17. Now, right now we're going to do something. This is key because we're done telling her what we want. We're going to ask her to do the math, but now we're going to hit enter because now we're done giving our input. So please hit enter. And watch what's going to happen now. Now the math part for her to do is going to happen. And what we want her to do is this over here. Let's see if I can't make that so you can actually see it a little bit clearer. Right here. Look, it's nice and big. We are going to need her to do this right here. Right here. Right? So we're going to be really careful. We're going to be really careful. And we're going to type capital A. Don't just push this button because you'll just get -1 over and over again. Type capital A and then tell it not, I don't want A, I want the inverse of A. Are you cool with that? And then I'm going to say, now Gypsy, times that by B. Times. And I think you need to type in a capital B. B. And look what she did. There's your answer. She's coming -1. She did it all for you. Right? That's it. Here's what you got to be able to do. You got to be able to take the math, put it in the format she understands, ask her to do the math for you. You guys ready to try a hard one? That would take you about 15 minutes. Let's do this. Let's do this. Nice and easy. We got this. Not normally if we did it by hand, but it's not going to. It's going to take the Gypsy hardly anything. Are you ready? So let's start by, please, I'm going to beg of you, don't go straight to the calculator. Don't type it straight in the calculator. I swear to God, I've been doing this for so many years. That's where kids make mistakes. They start typing straight in the calculator and it's like, oh, I forgot a negative. So take the extra half second to write out your A, your letters, and your B. I swear to God, it's like before you start cooking, get your ingredients out because there's nothing worse than being halfway through your recipe, realizing you don't have any cornstarch, right? So let's put everything in that we need. Nice and easy. We got a 1, a -5, a 3, and look what a pain in the ass this problem would be if I had to make stuff match, make stuff go away. Literally, it would take you 10 minutes or a whole desk. 3, 8, carefully, -1, 2, -6, -5. Right now, putting in X, Y, Z is pretty easy. Tomorrow, when we do word problems, those letters will matter. Is that going to be trumpet, violin, dead body? Right? Like, I don't know what my variables will be. So I need to be careful on that tomorrow. And then finally, way over here, 39, -19, -29. That is B. Again, we're going to be asking the Gypsy to give us the inverse of A times B. Because that's what we're asking her to do, is to get that vector guy all by himself. So now, go back to Desmos and plug this bad boy in nice and carefully. I don't know why, but I just kind of clear this out. I guess you could start from scratch. I'm just too lazy to do it. So new matrix, I'm good to go. Hey, I have to add a row and a column, right? You guys can do that. You're good. So I'm going to be working away up here. I'm going to go straight down. Oh, no, careful. Don't make my mistakes. Ooh. Ooh, some of you are so fast. You know what? I text like an old person, like with my kids, like it pains me to text.
I was just talking to you, bro. Yeah, I was making sure, bro.
Okay, new matrix. Here comes my B. I need to get rid of a column. I need to add a row. 39. And is it negative 19? I can't really see it. All right. And then negative 29. Thank you guys. Okay, hit my enter. Gypsy, please do some math for me. I think actually with A, and I think I can do that. Oh, look at that. Well, did I have to do this by hand in college when I took math classes? Yeah, did I cry? I did. I cried in a physics test once. And you know what was sad? Was not the only person crying. And that was sad. That was sad for me. Negative 8. And I think I could just go B right there. Look at me. How did you do? Did you get those right answers? Is it Gypsy on? Are you on fire? Yeah? Yeah? We're going to do 2 more, and then you're just going to practice a few of these tonight, and we're done. But look at the next one we're going to do. Oh, my God, I'm going to show it to you. And, I'm not going to lie. If this was a problem that I would have had to do in a math class, I would have tapped out. I would have been like, no, I'll just drop the class. Look at that now. Again, I know it's tempting to go straight to putting this in the computer, but please, if you're not doing it now, which is fine, on the test, please write out the matrix. Maybe I'm going to say you have to, because, man, you make any mistake here in typing it in, the gypsy's going to laugh at you behind your back, and she's going to give you exactly what you asked for. If you're asking for a cat and you forget to say Fluffy, and she'll give you one of those naked, like, hairless cats that are horrifying. Yes. Yes. Oh, did you not on Desmond's matrix? So type in, just hit Desmond's matrix. There. Yep, it is. Watch. You're adorable about that the whole time. I know. Is that like crazy? Is that crazy? Love that. I am always a little bothered when not all the teachers explain why this works. Like that A to the -1 times B, right? I don't need you to do the gypsies much, but I need to understand why it works. Nice and careful, right?
Is there a way to put decimals?
There's a whole number problem. So let me double check your math here. 5, 6, 2/3, 1, 6. That looks good. 1, -1, 1/2. That's beautiful. 2, 1 2/3, 1, 4/3. Perfect. Bottom. 3, 3, 20. Oh, there's your mistake. I'm gonna go back here. 8 and then -1.
Oh.
Boom. Now hit B. Boom.
He's not writing it down.
Yeah. No, his math, but he just forgot that inverse. Hey. Oh, did you get that? Yeah? It's crazy, huh? Yeah? Last one, best one. I'm going to just talk about something. Maybe I won't even have you do it, and I'll just let you work on your homework, which is just this. Here's the only thing we got to watch for on this one. I'm going to ask you to do this. Don't put it in your computer. Could you just write the matrix here? Matter of fact, just write A for me. Just write A. And you're going to see that there's a little bit of a problem. And we're going to talk about that problem, which is not really a problem, but a little bit of a problem. Here's why this is cool. In real life, we can do 5 and 6 variables with 5 and 6 equations. because the matrix can do it. It's like, I feel like I'm so futuristic. I'm in the matrix and it will do it. So it allows us, if you're taking finance classes, if you want to be a business major, obviously if you're doing architecture or anything like that with multiple variables, called linear programming, the matrices will do all the work for you. So here's the issue: 5, -1, 6. Uh-oh, don't put that -4. That -4 is a B. So really, I have A here, but I don't have one. You gotta put a 0. The gypsy wants something in each one of those holes. So be very careful. That's 0 here. -4, -1, 2, -5, -5. Be careful. Don't just start rolling through it, because you need to watch out for those holes. Does that make sense? So here's what's going to happen. I'd like you to do the odd ones starting on number 5. So I think there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. There's 6 problems, right? Because really, I just need you to get good at these. Please write out your matrices just as practice so I can give you credit. Otherwise, you're just be like, I just wrote the answers down. I did them on the calculator. Shut up. No, you didn't. Right? I am checking out last night's, which were 3 problems by hand. Some of you did them. Oh, I got you, baby. Did it by pictures, and I'm excited to see pictures. And then we're done, and tomorrow's Friday. You know what we do? Last thing in this unit, we do word problems with 3 variables. Is it harder? No. We just add another letter in, and we do it on our calculator. On our digital stuff. Start with 5. Just do the odds. She's an optical gypsy. You know, and I like the braiding hair. I only know it because my daughter can do it. It's kind of cool magic, yeah? That's kind of nice. Oh, 5 people I was taking. I don't even know where my videotape thing is. Oh, bye, everyone.